Hello everyone, welcome to a lecture series of financial management. Today is lecture number 21. So in this today's lecture, we are going to learn more about working capital management. So as we are very much familiar with the term capital, so this capital is nothing but the amount of money which is required for, or amount of cash which is required for any industry or any organization to have to have their day-to-day activities done very smoothly in organization. So this working capital management, if you see, so if you see the slide, this working capital management. So in this working capital management, one by one we will see. First we will see what is the meaning of working capital and its definition. So if you see the definition of working capital, so working capital generally it is defined as the excess of current assets over current liabilities and provisions. So we can say it is that part of a capital which is required for daily working of a business. So as you know, in any organization or in any industry, there are a lot of day-to-day activities which has been carried out with the mean of funds, or which is meant by a cash only. So this type of a running money, we can say, in any organization, it is required for daily purpose. So that money we can say it is a working capital. So it is a capital with which we can carry out our business or any activity of the business very smoothly. So there is another definition, again another definition of a working capital. So we can say the working capital is the amount of funds necessary to cover the cost of operation or to operate the enterprise. Or we can say the circulating capital or working capital, it means the current asset of a company that are changed in the ordinary course of business from one form into another. So for example, we can say from cash to inventories, or from inventories to receivables, and from receivable into a cash. So overall we can say the working capital is nothing but it is one kind of a cash, or it is one kind of a money which go on circulating from cash to inventories, or from inventories to a receivables, or from receivable into again cash. So it is one kind of a rotating type of a money which always play a very important role for daily working activities of any business. Now the working capital is going in a going concern. It is a, we can see it is a revolutionary, or it is a revolving fund. It consists of a cash receipts from sales which are used to cover the cost of current different operations. So if you see next the factors which affects the working capital. So there are so many factors. So one by one we will see what are the different factors which affects the uh, working capital requirement. So first factor we will see the nature of a business. So this is a very important factor. So in this factor, the working capital requirement is closely related to a nature of a business of organization. So the different business, it has a different natures of different nature is there. So for example, we can take, if any industry is there, so they manufacture a different hardware parts, isn't it? So metal parts are there, some aluminum parts are there, some motor vehicle parts are there, some nut and bolts are there. Or we can say a different one, another type of a business which manufactures a card sheets, isn't it? A different from a small level, or from small size to a large size for card sheets. So or we can say another business is there which manufactures aluminum sheets, isn't it? So so many different businesses are there. So the nature of that business, it is different. So manufacturing concerned, it requires a substantial capital, working capital. So this is because funds are blocked in a raw material, and the labor expenses and overheads at every stage of a production is required. So any company or any industry, they need some kind of a raw material before manufacturing the fine kind of a material. So we required to invest, or we required a funds to purchase such kind of a raw material. We have to spend some kind of a money to a labor expenses. Also we have to keep aside some amount of money which is required for an 11th hour in industry. So we can say it is an overhead of that company. So this overhead type of a money is also required, depending on the nature, or depending upon the what kind of a production is there in the industry. So on another hand, the service firms are also there, isn't it? Like we can say banks are there, insurance companies are there, financial companies are there, isn't it? So it requires a less working capital as they do not undertake production activities, isn't it? So try to understand the difference between these two type of an organization, isn't it? So we require a much more working capital in such kind of an industry where where there is a production activity is undertaken. As I said, the example of a automobile company parts, or aluminum sheet parts, or any kind of a company which do such kind of an production. So they require a they require a much more working capital. And another sectors of businesses are there, like banking, insurance sectors are there, again financial sectors are there. So they require a working capital, but amount of a working capital requirement, it is very less as compared to production activities based business. Now second point which affects the working capital is production process, isn't it? So if the production process stretches over a long period of a time, then greater amount of working capital will be required. So simply we can say a simple and a short production process, it requires a less working capital, isn't it? So obviously it is very true. So if the production process is very long, it is for a long period of a time, then it requires a much more working capital, isn't it? So for example, we can say any kind of a manufacturing industry which manufacture such kind of a product which requires a long time, then obviously it working capital, it goes on increasing. For example, we can say a car manufacturing. So manufacturing of a car within one day, it is not possible. So it requires a different parts. So assembling of a different parts, it makes a car, isn't it? It may take 1 month or 2 months, isn't it? So depending on the skill of the workers, or depending on the machineries, automatic machineries available into that industry. But if we compare the manufacturing of automobile car with the manufacturing of a chips packet, isn't it? So chips packet itself is a one kind of a production of any business. So but manufacturing of a chips, it takes a much less time as compared to manufacturing of your automobile car, isn't it? So manufacturing of automobile car, it requires a much more working capital as compared to the manufacturing of a packet chips. Next, third one, the size of a business unit. So again, this is also a very important factor. So size of organization determines the working capital needs of an organization. So larger the size, so more is the working capital required. Or if the working capital is much more, we can increase the size of the business, isn't it? So working capital, if it is much more, obviously we can grow the business, we can enhance the business, or we can start any allied business along with that, along with your core business, isn't it? So size of an organization also, it determines the working capital. So requirement of working capital, it also determine or it also depends on how much is the strength of your business. If the strength of your business, or we can say it is much more, then requirement of working capital is also much more. If strength is very less, in sense of what? Strength is very less means what? The production of your business, it is very less, and if the then obviously what will happen, the requirement of the labor, it will be also very less. So all the initial requirement or raw material requirement for that industry will be very less. So obviously the working capital requirement will be very less, isn't it? So requirement of your working capital, it depends on the size of your business, how much larger or smaller is the size of your business. Next point to be considered is terms of purchases and sales. A business organization making the purchases on credit and selling on cash term, so it requires a less working capital, whereas an organization selling the goods on credit could require a more working capital. So obviously it is also a true. So if you see the any business organization who purchases the entities on credit and who sells on a cash, they requires a very less working capital, isn't it? And because if they purchases on the credit, that means what, they're taking the help of the credit companies to purchase the entities. So obviously the amount of working capital requirement will be very less. But the organization who sells the good on credit and who sells the good on credit, they require a more working capital. So that is the difference. That is the difference between the purchasing on credit and selling goods on credit. So those who purchases the entity on credit, they requires a less working capital, whereas the organization which sells the good on credit, they requires a more working capital. Next is operating cycle. So if the operating cycle is short, the working capital requirement could be a lesser. So in this case, the fund of organization do not get blocked for a longer period of a time. So they get converted into a cash quickly. So on other hand, the company having a long operating cycle needs more amount of working capital. So the operating cycle, it plays an also very important role in this working capital. So if operating cycle it is very less, so obviously the working capital requirement will be less. If operating cycle of operating production of that any product in the company, if it is much more, then obviously the amount of working capital will be a much more. Because why? Because some amount we have to spend on the labor, some amount we have to spend on the raw material, the some amount we have to spend on the electricity expenses, and so many things are there, isn't it? So this operating cycle of a product, it determines the amount of working capital requirement. Next factor is dividend policy. So dividend policy is that if the company follows a liberal dividend policy, then the working capital needs of organization could be high. So as more funds could be needed to pay the dividend to the shareholders. So this is also very true. So if any company follows the liberal dividend policy, then working capital need of an organization, it will be a very high. So as more funds it may need to pay a dividend to a shareholders. So next point is what? Turnover of inventories. So turnover of inventory, it means a business organization having low inventory turnover could necessarily require more working capital, whereas a high inventory turnover, they require a limited working capital. So if you say any organization, so whose turnover is very less, so they require a more working capital. So whereas the business, any organization whose turnover is very high, they require a limited or very less working capital. So this is also true. Next is your seasonal variations. So in case of a seasonal industries, like we can take so many examples. So we can take the examples like sugar, and or we can take an example of oil mills. So more working capital is required during the peak seasons, so as compared to slack seasons. So there are so many businesses are there, so which depends on a requirement. It depends on the seasonal, isn't it? It depends on the seasonal. So if you take a sugar factory, the sugar factory, it runs in our Maharashtra from for 3 to 4 months, isn't it? 3 to 4 months. So we can say it is a seasonal crop, isn't it? Again, if you can see the oil industries, the basically most depends on the plants, isn't it? Production of oil from plants. So this is also seasonal business. So many industries are there. So which depends on the seasons. So they required more working capital during the seasonal period. The sugar factory, they require more working capital. Oil factory, they also require more working capital during the seasonal period as compared to their slack seasons, because they have to invest much more amount on raw material, they have to invest much more amount on maintenance of machineries, they have to spend much more amount on a labor, they have to work for 24 by 7 working hours may be there. So many factors are there. So during that period, during that seasonal businesses, we require a more working capital. Again, inflation. So inflation, a business concerned requires more working capital during inflation. So this factor, it may be compensated to some extent by rise in selling price. So if obviously this is also very true. So if inflation is there, then it will require obviously more working capital. So inflation also a very important factor which affects the productivity of a business, which affects the profitability of the business, which affects the employability of a business. So it adversely affects the lifestyle of a workers also. So inflation also, it's a very major factor. And last factor is what? Profitability. So profitability means what? It's a high profitability. It reduces the strain on working capital. It reduces mainly the strain on working capital, because a part of a profit generated may be used to meet the working capital requirement of an organization. So this is also very true. So profitability, if any company they produce such kind of a product which gives profit to a company, then obviously a strain on the working capital will be also reduced, isn't it? So any organization or any company, they take so many steps by arranging a meeting with the board members, so that company can rise their income or they can grow in the form of an profit. So if that company it achieves a much more profit, then obviously what will happen? A stress on working capital, it will get reduced. So this is the point what we have discussed about a working capital. So we have seen what is the working capital, definition and meaning of a working capital. We have seen what are the different factors which affects the working capital. So if you see, there are mostly 7 to 8 points are there, so which affects the working capital requirement. Also we have seen what are the different definitions and meaning of a working capital. So I request you to watch this video again, and if you get any kind of a doubt, then you can ask me. So we will stop here for this lecture. In next lecture we will see what is the need of working capital, or we can say what are the characteristics and the features of working capital, and we'll see uh, what are the process and advantages of working capital in next lecture. So till then I request you to go through these two slides, and watch the video again so that the concept of working capital will be get cleared. Till then, thank you.